Good afternoon, it's Gene from Lifestyle Observatory. I wanted to try and have a balanced argument with regards to the Pfizer vaccine. We've been talking about it in a few videos yesterday, and one of the points that I came up with is, how could you have possibly tested this vaccine with regards to reproduction? It usually takes 9 months to reproduce ourselves as human beings. We want to create a baby. 9 months is usually the time it takes. And my concern was that, we don't know what will be the outcome of injecting ourselves with the vaccine, because it targets RNA proteins, and RNA proteins are found in male sperm by the thousand, and we don't know what their applications are really for, but they are there. And if this vaccine targets RNA proteins, then is it going to cause harm and cause defects? And we simply don't know that, because we've not had this vaccine out that long to test against that. And I think if the governments are going to start out rolling this vaccine, which has clearly been rushed because this hasn't been allocated as part of the trials, clearly, because it couldn't have possibly been allocated because of the time period which the government knew about COVID-19, and to the point of where we are right now on 11th, 2020. So, I do have some concerns, and I think it's worth having a balanced argument. Now, in order to be fair, we know that vaccines are good. We pretty much eradicated here in the United Kingdom tuberculosis through having TB injections. That was a good thing. And we have, through vaccines, cured a lot of problems. And I don't need to go into too much detail about that. But in majority, before a vaccine is allowed to be put on the market and used, it has to go through some stringent tests. And I just have to ask this question, with regards to one most important aspect of these tests is what has been done in regards to this vaccine with reproduction. And we already know the answer, because it is just come about too quick to know the repercussions of whether it will affect reproduction or not. My concern is that millions of people start taking the Pfizer vaccine, that it could lead to a lot of implications. We have seen the repercussions of thalidomide being administered to pregnant ladies that suffer from morning sickness, and as a result, there was birth defects, and eventually it led to the pulling off the shelf of that vaccine. So, we are here right now with a government that is rushing the vaccine through emergency procedures and trying to deliver it to as many people as they can, in hope that they can cure this problem with the current pandemic that we're led to believe is taking place. And I say that it's because simply, if they want to be open, then we need to see more evidence of the cases. I've heard stories where, doctors have asked the widow of a recently deceased husband, should we put the death down to COVID? In my view, the doctor shouldn't be asking that question of whether it was down to COVID or not. He should know. And, we have heard stories of people dying in car crashes that have been put down as, dying of COVID-19. Clearly it wasn't the cause of death. The cause of death was the car crash. So, you can understand there being a little bit of concern with general public like ourselves on this matter. And, I just wanted to put it out there. What are your thoughts? I saw some of the comments over the last few days. I completely agree with those comments. In my view, I think it's frightening when you see on mainstream media them asking the question, should it be mandatory that we have the vaccine? And I'm concerned about that, because if it is a mandatory decision that is made that we have the vaccine, and certain tests such as reproduction hasn't been included, then we could be leading ourselves down a real rocky road, to say the least. I think you would agree with me on that. If they want people to have confidence in a vaccine that actually does something, then we at least have to be patient and allow the tests to be done on also people that have reproduced children within a year. Otherwise, if we just go blindly into this, some people have been cured, some people aren't. The testing's not quite up to what it should be, because we've seen people be tested several times. Some have come back conclusive, some have come back not conclusive, and it raises doubt as to the quality of the test and the accuracy of the test. And even to this point in time, we've not seen a reliable testing solution for COVID-19. And there are a lot of people walking around with asymptomatic symptoms, which are not affected completely at all. So, we're in, really, as far as I'm concerned, uncharted territory. And because of that, I'm really concerned that, we are not fully testing every aspect of this. And one of those major tests surely should be reproduction. I mean, they talk about, when discussions are being held about vaccines, these people are very controversial, tin hats, conspiracy theorists, and the worst of the worst. But there is a question, I think, legitimately, that needs to be asked. What has been done in respect of testing this Vosel virus against reproduction? Because I know there hasn't been enough time passed since they've discovered the problem, and to the point of what we are at right now with regards to whether there is a concern to be had or not. But I think it's irresponsible of a government, any government, to put this out on the market when those tests have not been completed. If you're going to completely overlook the fact that reproduction is not important, then I think it's just shocking. So I'm interested in your points of views on this. What do you think about a vaccine that's not being tested against the time of reproduction and in adequate amounts of test results, people that have been tested? How do you feel about that? Because I've got a little bit of anxiety with regards to this government pushing this vaccine out, and with the talk of it being mandatory that you have the vaccine, I also feel that is illegal, to say the least. I think and I did watch a doctor on British media talking about this, and I agree with him. That would be an assault if you forced somebody to have a vaccine. And it would be something that has never been done before. And do we want to go down that road of forced vaccines when the vaccine hasn't been put through its correct tests? I'm interested in your views on this, guys. So, I expect to see some juicy comments down there below in the description. There is a link if you want to help support what we do at the Observatory. And I'll sit here and wait for your comments on this. As always, bye for now.